Hey bitch, and welcome back to another video of me talking about people I hate. As you know, I recently became a mom, and something that I've always hated but has since become so much worse is seeing children, anyone under the age of 18 really, not wearing helmets, and then their lunatic parents in the comment section defending it by saying, "Oh, the helmet police are out. You guys mind your own business. These are my kids." Yeah, you're about to not have kids. Sorry, I hate that sounds bad, but it's true. If you are interested in extra content from me, you can become a channel member here on YouTube or check out my Patreon account. The link is in the description down below. The amount of people I see who think that it's normal and acceptable to put their children who can't consent on dangerous animals without proper gear to protect them is crazy. Not only are they just dumb, but they also don't care about their kids at all and should be called out for that. There was one point in time in my life where I was a child and I did not ride with a helmet a lot of the time, and I look back on that with a lot of regrets. I just happened to have really bad parents that didn't care about me at all, really, and didn't care if I got hurt or not, so... You know, now that I am a mom, I can't imagine putting my child on a very dangerous animal, regardless of how bomb-proof, which is not a thing, your horse is. It's still dangerous, accidents still happen, and you know what? Parents need to be shamed. I am on the train at this point where we need to bring back public shaming. We need to bring back shaming parents that in a way neglect and abuse their children because you're allowing your kid to be put in danger, in harm's way.
State, here comes a superstar from last night. The 4-year-old.
I don't care if these people don't know about horses at all. I hate this idea, and it's mostly with Western riders, that helmets aren't for cowboys and that it's not part of the Western attire or culture, so we're not gonna wear it, and you better toughen up, put your big girl panties on. That stuff is so stupid. Your child could fall off and not even have that serious of a fall, but end up with a broken neck and paralyzed, or even worse, dead. And all it takes is one fall. It doesn't even have to be a bad fall. I've seen people get seriously injured just by literally sliding off the side of a horse that wasn't even moving. This idea that kids are made of rubber is just an excuse for neglecting the safety of your child. Are you good? Dude, I can't. I see videos like this all over my For You page, and it bothers me to my very core. I really hate this so much. You should be shamed. These people should not have children. Whenever I see people that have children riding horses without helmets, it literally makes me want to call CPS, honestly. I'm not even kidding. It really is so horrible to see that. And what's even worse is these parents will literally brainwash their children into believing that they're big and tough and they don't need helmets, and anybody saying that you need a helmet online is just a hater. They're just hating on you. No, the people online care about your child more than you do. You don't even have to have a horse that is quote unquote misbehaving or being naughty. Because I see a lot of people relying on this, facade of having a bomb-proof horse for their kids or a kid-safe horse. There is no such thing as a kid-safe horse or a bomb-proof horse. All horses are animals. And can we stop calling horses bomb-proof or kid-safe? Because this really promotes a false sense of safety to unknowledgeable parents who are going to put their kids on these horses, and the kids will likely end up injured. Another thing I see is experience bias. I see a lot of parents that didn't grow up riding horses with helmets and they turned out okay, which is debatable because of their lack of judgment. But they think because they turned out okay without helmets that their kids will be completely fine. And you know what? To those parents, I just have to say one thing to you. Imagine that your 5-year-old child falls off and becomes paralyzed or gets seriously injured in some way. You're gonna have to live the rest of your life having your kid constantly ask you, "Mommy, why didn't you make me wear a helmet? You were responsible for my safety, Mommy, and look at what happened to me." That's on you. You're gonna have to live with that. Based off my experience teaching children, they lack the muscle control, strength, and balance to be able to control themselves well on horses. Oh my God. You know, I don't care if you're an adult who wants to just be a complete idiot and not wear a helmet. It's the kids. It really is the kids. These kids cannot advocate for themselves and their brains are not fully developed. They are parroting and they're following what the adults in their lives are doing. I see a lot of full-grown adults that don't ride with helmets, and then when they fall off and get seriously injured, the first thing they do is they start a GoFundMe for not wearing a helmet and they want people to pay for their medical bills. No. That's karma. That's called the consequences of your own actions. You're the one who chose to ride a horse without a helmet. We have billions of options for helmets out there that are not expensive at all. You can go get highly protective helmets at your local tack shop for $50. And if you're riding horses, you can absolutely afford to do that. So miss me with all of this GoFundMe crap. I don't think people really realize how serious injuries from horseback riding could possibly be. Head injuries are the #1 cause of death and disability in horseback riding, and these injuries are not rare. TBIs are relatively common. I actually don't know a single horse rider out there that has not had some type of concussion throughout the lifetime of them riding horses. Even the smallest falls can cause concussions, skull fractures, and even brain bleeds. Again, all of these are common injuries. TBIs, keep in mind, lead to permanent cognitive impairments, memory loss, mood disorders, and even in some cases, vegetative states or death. Studies show that wearing helmets reduces yours and your child's chance of head injury by 70 to 80%, depending on the helmet. That's just for the average helmet on the market. And children are especially vulnerable to this because their skulls and their bones and their brain is still developing. Even the smallest injuries could be catastrophic for kids. Putting your kid on a horse without a helmet on is the equivalent of putting your child in your car without a car seat. There really needs to be more laws and regulations surrounding this. Children should not have the option. Children should not. All kids should be forced to wear helmets when they're riding horses, just like how you're forced to put your child in a car seat when you're driving down the road. And you know what? If you want to be a dumb adult that doesn't wear helmets, whatever. Go for it. Hope that works out for you. But just, take care of your kids, guys. Take care of your kids. And you know what? We need to shame these people. Let them know that it's absolutely not okay. It is not just helmet police, okay? Get over it. Get over yourself. You're a bad parent. That's what you are. You're a bad parent.